second session of Ask the Life Coach Fridays. I hope you can see me and I'm clear as well. Kindly do let me know if I'm clear or I need to change my settings. Let me just ensure all is well. And a warm welcome to you all. And before I start, allow me to give a very warm shout out to the people who joined me last Friday. Thank you so much. And a warm welcome again to everyone, the ones who are live now and the ones who will be coming in later in the session, and even the ones who are going to come in on the replay. You're all welcome, and let's have these conversations, hoping that your Friday is coming up well. And karibuni sana. Allow me to just dive into it, and we start with our first question. As kama kawaida, if you have any questions regarding any topic, please feel free to just post them on the chat, and we're going to discuss them in this session. So, welcome once again, and let's start. So, the first question I got is, hello Alice, I loved your post. How can one deal with emotional triggers? And I'm assuming this one came from a post that I posted, I think, on Thursday. Yeah. And the best for someone who might be watching this and is not even aware of what emotional triggers are, let's start with that. And emotional triggers are any situation or event that will create a prolonged, emotional reaction in you. And if we're to start from the beginning, we all have emotional triggers because we have past situations, circumstances, or events that have touched us in one way or another. Now, the thing about it is most of us are not even aware of what those emotional triggers are. And when we are not aware, they come out in different ways. Like, let me give you an example. There's a time we were at NHIF, Upper Hill, and we were using that parking and we were coming out. Then there was this lady who, we had not seen her. So we just happened to cut her on the line, which we didn't know because we hadn't seen her car. So she comes out, all guns blazing. She is fired up. She's insulting us. And we were so shocked. And we were wondering, okay, so what is wrong? What is going on here? And we could clearly tell, but this situation has nothing to do with us. This is one very, very angry lady. And this is just an opportunity for her to vent. I've probably witnessed so many or been a part of that myself. The other one I can recall is seeing two people push each other at a supermarket, near the till, to the extent that they almost fought. Why? Because one cut the other one off on the line. And most of the time, we rarely get to ask ourselves, where is this coming from? We rarely get to ask ourselves what is going on here. You just get triggered and you act on it, and then you start thinking about it later. So the first thing when it comes to dealing with our emotional triggers is to first try and understand ourselves. And that's why I keep on insisting, please, self-awareness, jijue, jielewe. Because once you do that, then you'll be able to handle yourself. And most of the time, we're not even aware of what those triggers are. So sometimes it could be a physical body reaction. Someone says a word that you don't even think of much, but they say a word and, just like that, you get triggered, you get annoyed, or the hair on your back stands, or you feel like you're breathing faster because you're getting angry, or you can just feel your blood rushing. When that happens, that's the point, you stop and ask yourself, what is really going on here? And that's the first thing. When you're being caught up in an emotional situation, instead of just diving into it and dealing with it, the first thing we need to ask ourselves is, what is really going on here? And for us to be able to understand that, then we need to take a pause. Now, the thing about triggers is, most of the time we are triggered and we act on it. We rarely take that pause. And sometimes it would be as brief as what? 5 seconds to 6 seconds for the rational part of the brain to meet up with the emotional part of the brain. Just take a pause. Breathe in, deep breath. It's amazing how God created us, and the breath and emotions are connected. When you're angry, your breath becomes shorter, and what happens is, when you take deep breaths, they tend to calm your body and calm your mind. So sometimes the difference between you being okay and a disaster is just 5 seconds away, 5 deep breaths away. So number one, observe what is really going on here. If you can tell, okay, Alice is annoyed, Alice is getting angry, then that's the time Alice needs to tell herself, Alice, breathe, count to 5 before you respond. And because by the time you're taking those deep breaths and responding, then your rational part would have caught up with the emotional part, and then you'll be able to deal with it when you're in a better situation. So just breathe, then center yourself, bring yourself to the present, because most of the time you're reacting or responding to past triggers. It could be, for example, it could be you were not heard, or you are not listened to as a child. You are always a child where wetu ndo ulikuwa unapitwa, wewe ndo ulikuwa unapitwa na kila mtu. So there's this situation, someone has passed you, and you're like, no, this time around I'm standing up for myself, and putting in so much energy in something that you should have just looked and passed. So take a deep breath, observe what is really going on here. Then once you get to reflect what is really going on here, then you can be able to respond appropriately to the situation after taking those deep breaths. So this is not a process that will happen overnight. Sorry, it won't. It's I love saying it's growth, and growth takes time. It's a process that happens with the times you'll do that and you'll be triggered and, oh my God, utaanguka kabisa. And the times that you will catch yourself. You'll catch yourself before you roll down that hill. So this takes practice. Observe, understand yourself, try and do better. Repeat tomorrow, kesho kutwa, just like that. And as you do it more, you become better at it. Then the other question was, hello coach, I broke up with my husband 2 years ago. I can't find a way to forgive him since he hurt me so much. Where can I start? That's a good question, and I would love to answer it from not just from that perspective, but from a whole broader perspective. And forgiveness is not easy, so I totally understand where you're coming from. And most of the time we are holding so much pain, and we are hurting, and we are angry, and we are bitter, and we are frustrated, and it's so hard to forgive the other person, because we are thinking, I'm forgiving them and then I let them go just like that. No, after all that they did to me. But what we don't have in that perspective is forgiveness is never about the other person. Forgiveness is about yourself. Forgiveness is about, how do I put it? Forgiveness is about letting go of what is in your heart. Letting go of that bitterness, letting go of that pain, and just leaving room for something else to come in. So the first thing that we need to understand is you're not forgiving the other person because, and this could be any situation. It could be a parent, it could be a partner, it could be, I don't know, a boss who fired you years ago, or a partner who, a business partner who just messed you up, or a business deal gone sour, whatever it is, or a friendship just gone wrong, whatever it is. It could be that, you know, that you're holding on to, in fact, the most common quote is, when you hold someone and you're not forgiving, it's like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. And that is so true, because what happens is when you have negative emotions pent up in your body, then what happens is, in one way or another, if they have to be released, so you either release them inwards and it turns to self-hate, it turns to self-pity, it turns to, you know, lack of self-love and all that, or you turn the same outwards, then it becomes aggression, it becomes hate, it becomes you're fighting with everyone because you have so much pent up negative emotions that you're holding, and at one point or another they have to be released. So we have to look at it from that point, you know, that forgiveness is not coming from, okay, I've forgiven you because, yeah, I'm letting you get away with what you did. It's not about that. It's, I'm choosing to forgive you, and it's a choice, because I can choose to hold you in that kind of frame for the rest of my life. But I turn this idea. So if it's gonna hurt me, why should I? I'd rather release it. I'd rather let go, as hard as that may be. And just understanding and coming from that point where, understanding and coming from that point of view where, you know what, I am choosing to forgive. I'm choosing to forgive because I'm choosing to free myself, because I have these cords that are tied to you, and they're not helping me. You know, they are just bringing me pain. So I'm choosing to cut off the cords. I'm choosing to cut the ties. And this might sound way easier, and I can assure you it sounds way easier than it is actually doing it, because forgiveness means choosing to let something in, something new in. And most of the time we don't want to let something new in because we are not even aware of it, but we are holding on to this grudge. You know, we are holding on to this bitterness because it justifies our point of view and makes us feel good about ourselves. We might not even know that. You know, it's their fault. It's not my fault. You know, they hurt me. That's why I am the way I am. And sometimes when things happen, they might not even be your fault. But you still need to forgive the other person, not because, because they've done anything good or whatever, but because you need to move on, because you need to release them, because you need to remove that darkness in your heart and just have something else, something better on the, you know, to replace whatever that is. So it's not easy, and it's something that would happen a day at a time. And perhaps I can share my own experience with that, because I was in a similar situation, and I was coming from a point of so much anger, so much bitterness, so much frustration, so much thinking, oh my God, I gave this person, you know, all my best, and this is what they did to me, or blah 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 blah. And I remember I was so hurt. I was so angry and so bitter, and at times I would have conversations with God and just ask, I mean, how is this person still breathing? As in, how can you let him, after, after zile vitu zote amefanya? And I was so angry. But one thing I realized is it wasn't helping me much, I was such a bitter person. I was so beaten. I was so angry. And it was so tiring. Believe you me, when you're carrying so much in your heart that is of that magnitude, you even get physically tired without doing any activity. And I think for me that was the beginning of my asking myself different questions. And I remember I kept on thinking, I don't like feeling like this. I don't like feeling angry. I don't like feeling bitter. I don't like feeling bitter. I don't like feeling angry. I don't like feeling. Then I am here, so what do I do? And I remember thinking, okay, I am here, what do I do? Then I knew, and of course we've been told so many times in church about forgiveness and all that. And I just knew it. I just knew I need to let go. So I had to do a lot of praying. Like, God, I don't even know where to start, but just help me forgive this other person. And I remember with time it became, I think, with time it became easier. But for me, my biggest aha moment was, you know what goes around comes around. What energy you put out is what energy you bring back into you. And I remember that time, just my spirit speaking to me and asking, the things that you're praying for this person, they're gonna come back to you. So why don't you start praying for the right things for this person, because they'll be coming back to you. And I remember the first time I did that, it felt so off. God, please bless this person. I'm like, do I really want them to be blessed? Okay, I don't feel like it, but since we've been told to bless them, okay, fine, I bless them. Then you wake up, you do it again the next day. Then you wake up, you do it again the next day. Until it gets to a point where you're actually saying, God bless this person. And you're actually feeling, you're feeling it in your heart. Like, yeah, God bless this person. God protect this person. God take care of this person. And at some point, you find out that the more you actually wish for them well, the more you release them. Until one day you wake up and you're like, oh my God, you're actually saying, God bless this person. And it's not just a prayer. They're not just words. You actually mean it. And it's something that you don't even realize that it's coming. You just wake up one day and you're like, hiya, the load that I had, it's like it's been lifted. You meet them, you're no longer angry at them, you're no longer you're no longer cursing them out, you're no longer wishing them harm. You actually wish them well, and uko tu sawa. It's an amazing place to be at, an amazing point to be at. Then there's this one question also from Stony: how to overcome childhood inner issues, how to control or overcome emotional triggers. I think we've already dealt with the first one on overcoming emotional triggers. The next, the other one would be inner child issues, which is quite common. I mean, I keep on saying we all have issues, each and every one of us. So it all depends on the degree. And for us to be able to overcome inner child issues, it goes back to awareness. It goes back to asking yourself this one question: why do I do the things that I do? And once you start asking yourself, why do I show up like this? What makes me happy? So what is really going on here? And just observing yourself and understanding yourself from that point, then you're able to pick, so there's this one event that happened. Oh, so my mom or my dad was like this, so I learned this from them, I picked it from them, and as an adult I'm doing the same thing, only that I'm not aware. And most of the time, like, for example, if you grew up in a home where there was no order, there were a lot of fights, a lot of, a lot of issues in the house, then chances are you'll be, when you're grown up as an adult, you'll be attracted to chaos. You'll be attracted to relationships that are just chaotic and full of drama. And then you'll keep on wondering, how comes I attract ladies or gentlemen who are like this? But once you sit down and understand, so where is this coming from? And just trying to connect. Why is this? Why is it that I'm always attracted to drama? Where did I first see drama in my life? Oh, I saw drama in my life when dad and mom were fighting. Oh, I saw drama when they were, I don't know, abusing each other, insulting each other in front of us. Also, I've gotten used to it. I don't think it's a big deal. So I can abuse my husband, I can abuse my wife. It's not a big deal because that is what I saw. But is it okay? No, it's not okay. Is this what I want for myself? No, that is not what I want for myself. So what is it that I want for myself? And the best way, I love going through this, especially if you're very intent on sorting out inner child issues, is just going back in time and writing your story, your childhood story. So as a child, what memories, like spring up to you? Because those memories mean something to you, and both bad and good. When this and this happened, there was a party, it was my birthday, I was so excited. Where were you excited? Because, I don't know, I was brought for the type of cake I had requested for. That's an example. So why did that really excite you at that point? It's because I felt heard and seen at that moment. Like my parents had me and they saw me and they responded. So once you get it from that point of view, then you can clearly tell, okay, so for me, being seen and being heard is so important. Being seen and being heard in relationships is so important. So how am I in this relationship right now? Am I being seen and heard? Am I happy with it? If I'm happy with it, well and good. If I'm not happy with it, then how am I striving to be seen and heard? Perhaps I'm shouting. Perhaps I am, busy doing all the wrong things because I want attention. Perhaps I'm busy nagging, whatever it is. It's just understanding yourself from that point of view and then relating it to where you're at as an adult. And I have to say, and I keep mentioning this all the time, this inner child, this whole inner child healing is never about apportioning any blame. It's never about acting like a victim. It's never about saying it's dad's fault, I grew up like this, or it's my mom's fault, she was so nasty to me, so I grew up like this. No. It's not about that. It's more of trying to understand yourself so that you can do better for yourself. And I keep on saying our parents did the best they did with what they had and what they knew at that point. So it's not about going back and saying, I wish I had better parents, or I wish this and this could have happened, because you can't go back and change the past. It'll happen, it may happen. So how do I pick myself from this point? And instead of becoming bitter because of the experiences that shaped me, I can look at them and bless them and become better. But I can only become better when I understand myself. Thank you, Cecilia, for tuning in. I don't know whether we have any other question. Just allow me a second to just check. whether we have any other question. I don't think we do. Yeah, I don't think we do. So that will be all for today. Thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in. Please join me next Friday. Let's do the same thing. You can send your questions early. It doesn't have to be on Friday mornings or Thursday evenings. Please feel free to send in your questions, and yeah, we will have this conversation again next week on Friday, same time at 3 p.m. Thank you. Bye.